Peace to you. What's going on, beautiful people? It is a beautiful day. It's a little chilly willy today, but I'm out here in the sun, so we're all good, getting that intelligence, that wisdom, those minerals, vitamins, all that good stuff that the sun has to offer. Today is the Master Key System Day, part 7. All right, so let's just get right into it. We know what this series is about, okay? I explain it probably more than I need to. So at this point, we're gonna jump right into it. I'm gonna go through the introduction real quick, and then through the paragraphs, and then onto the application. There's gonna be timestamps in the description. Come back tomorrow and the next days to go through the application again and again, so it's embedded into your mind, into your subconscious. And here we go.
Through all ages, man has believed in an invisible power, through which and by which all things have been created and are continually being recreated. We may personalize this power and call it God, or we may think of it as the essence or spirit which permeates all things, but in either case, the effect is the same. So far as the individual is concerned, the objective, the physical, the visible, is the personal, that which can be cognized by the senses. It consists of body, brain, and nerves. The subjective is the spiritual, the invisible, the impersonal. The personal is conscious, because it is a personal entity. The impersonal, being the same in kind and quality as all other being, is not conscious of itself, and has therefore been termed the subconscious. The personal, or conscious, has the power of will and choice, and can therefore exercise discrimination in the selection of methods whereby to bring about the solution of difficulties. The impersonal, or spiritual, being a part or one with the source and origin of all power, can necessarily exercise no such choice, but, on the contrary, it has infinite resources at its command. It can, and does, bring about results by methods concerning which the human or individual mind can have no possible conception. You will therefore see that it is your privilege to depend upon the human will with all its limitations and misconceptions. Or you may utilize the potentialities of infinity by making use of the subconscious mind. Here, then, is the scientific explanation of the wonderful power which has been put within your control, if you but understand, appreciate, and recognize it. One method of consciously utilizing this omnipotent power is outlined in part 7.
So this introduction is basically an overview and just letting us know that this chapter is going to show us how we can use the omnipotent powers that we harness. The consciousness and the subconsciousness. The consciousness being how we identify with things, how we go about seeing how something makes us feel, or the definitions we tie towards things, and our emotions that we have linked to certain situations or whatnot. And the subconscious playing out what we've told ourselves in the conscious. Our subconscious being what we've already implemented yesterday when we were younger, and the things that we identify with, and now the subconscious is just playing that out. And whenever we can redirect our subconscious or reprogram our subconscious through our consciousness, then we hold the power to create our reality. So that is the introduction. Now let's get into part 7, starting on number 1.
Visualization is the process of making mental images, and the image is the model, which will serve as a pattern from which your future will emerge. Make the pattern clear and make it beautiful. Do not be afraid, make it grand. Remember that no limitation can be placed upon you by anyone but yourself. You are not limited as to cost or material. Draw on the infinite for your supply. Construct it in your imagination. It will have to be there before it will ever appear anywhere else. Make the image clear and clean cut. Hold it firmly in the mind and you will gradually and constantly bring the thing nearer to you. You can be what you will to be.
So visualizations, we touched on this last chapter, and this just kind of expands. The power of visualizations is so immense. Visualizations will turn into physical form and become your reality. So make your thoughts and visualizations beautiful. Fill yourself with uplifting ideas and mental images of what you desire, not what you don't desire. Don't allow your fear to creep in to your visualizations. Fear in your mind will bring into form more fear, whether it's in the form of anxiety, illness, lack. Fear is going to continuously seep in if you continuously focus on it. And we don't want that. You also have to put in the work. We've been so programmed to believe ways of life and perceive of the world in a particular way. We have to put work into unlearning and relearning. We've allowed ourselves to be brainwashed. It's going to take effort to recreate our mental and physical home so we can attract our desires. We've been programmed since birth, and what our parents tell us is right or wrong, and what we watch different programs, different television shows, and the music we listen to, and our peers and social media, and we grow up expecting certain outcomes, expecting life to be like a fairy tale or like a movie, or we have all of these expectations and beliefs. We have to unlearn those things and relearn, because the things outside of ourselves are not truth. Truth is found within. Okay, so I'm gonna keep on going. Number 5.
The first step is idealization. It is likewise the most important step because it is the plan on which you are going to build. It must be solid. It must be permanent. The architect, when he or she plans a 30-story building, has every line and detail pictured in advance. The engineer, when he or she spans a chasm, first ascertains the strength requirements of 1,000,000 separate parts. They see the end before a single step is taken, so you are to picture in your mind what you want. You are sowing the seed, but before sowing any seed, you want to know what the harvest is to be. This is idealization. If you are not sure, return to the chair daily until the picture becomes plain. It will gradually unfold. First, the general plan will be dim, but it will take shape. The outline will take form, then the details, and you will gradually develop the power by which you will be enabled to formulate plans which will eventually materialize in the objective world. You will come to know what the future holds for you. Then comes the process of visualization. You must see the picture more and more complete, see the detail, and as the details begin to unfold, the ways and means for bringing it into manifestation will develop. One thing will lead to another. Thought will lead to action. Action will develop methods. Methods will develop friends. And friends will bring about circumstances. And finally, the third step, or materialization, will have been accomplished.
So here are 3 steps for manifesting your desired outcomes. The first step is idealization. Formulate a plan and figure out what you truly desire. Meditate and ask yourself questions to get to know yourself so you can adequately construct a plan and mental images of your true desires. You want to be able to have a plan inside your head and maybe write it out, draw it out, so that way you can put the types of thoughts in your head that you need to get to your desires. If you don't know what you necessarily want, you won't be putting the right material in your mind. You won't be having the most efficient, effective visualizations because you don't have a plan. You don't know what you want to, accumulate or attract. So forming a plan and kind of having an idea of what you want and how to get there is really, really important. And a great way in order to find out what you truly want is to meditate, get to know yourself, start cleansing yourself so you have a more clear temple and you have more clear thoughts that are directed or connected to your higher self, your intuition, your true desires. All right. And then the next step is visualizations. So imagine your desires as if they've already taken form. See it in your mind. Adjust and play with the plans and goals as if they were tactile. You will begin to bring your thoughts and ideas into form. So whenever you have the visualizations, you can start to, just like in the last chapter, start to visualize your plan in detail, see how things are going about. And while you're visualizing your plans, adjust it in your mind as if you're physically, moving things around, moving your plans about. You want it to almost be like a dream, like a lucid dream. You want to close your eyes, visualize, and have it be so real as if you're there, as if it's a story playing in your mind. You want to visualize it in that way. So that way your subconscious mind registers it as it is true. This is the whole thing, like in the introduction, it was talking about the consciousness and the subconsciousness. This is us working on that conscious and subconscious relationship. We're consciously formulating a plan, and we're consciously visualizing how we want that plan to go about and the different things that we desire. And subconsciously what's happening is our subconscious thinks that these visualizations are true, as if it was happening in the outside world. So then our plans will start to manifest in our reality, because what we focus on grows. Subconsciously, what is dug into our subconscious will manifest into our reality. And then the third step is materialization. Your desires have formulated in this physical, realm, dimension, So that was 5 through 7. I'm gonna go over to, 13.
Clearness and accuracy are obtained only by repeatedly having the image in mind. Each repeated action renders the image more clear and accurate than the preceding, and in proportion to the clearness and accuracy of the image will the outward manifestation be. You must build it firmly and securely in your mental world, the world within, before you can take form in the world without, and you can build nothing of value even in the mental world unless you have proper material. When you have the material, you can build anything you wish, but make sure of your material. You cannot make broadcloth from shoddy.
So whenever you first start the whole visualizations, the idealizations, you trying to formulate a plan and think of it in your mind and your imagination, it might not be clear at first, okay? The chapters before this, if you haven't watched the other videos, you want to go through those, because those kind of get you prepared for this type of material. But the clearness and the accuracy of your desires and ideas, it's going to be a progression, okay? You got to keep doing it repetitively, so that way things become more clear. The more you do it, the easier it will be to get tapped right back into that state of consciousness, that state of imagination or visualization. And day by day, things will become more and more clear. And the more clear it is in your mind, the more accurate the representation in the outside world will become. And it talks about the material, having the right material to use. And whenever it's talking about material, it's more like the ideas, the thoughts. You want to make sure they're aligned to your true desires. The material you use for your visualizations are the thoughts, okay? Your plans. If you aren't having the right thoughts that are aligning to your desires, then you won't be accurately creating a desirable outcome, because your thoughts aren't matching. your plans aren't matching your desires. So make sure you're using, you're making good use of your thoughts throughout the day. All right. So now I'm going to go over to 22.
Create ideals only. Give no thought to external conditions. Make the world within beautiful and opulent, and the world without will express and manifest the condition which you have within. You will come into a realization of your power to create ideals, and these ideals will be projected into the world of effect. For instance, a man is in debt. He will be continually thinking about the debt, concentrating on it. And as thoughts are causes, the result is that he not only fastens the debt closer to him, but actually creates more debt. He is putting the great law of attraction into operation with the usual and inevitable result. Loss leads to greater loss. What then is the correct principle? Concentrate on the things you want, not on the things you do not want. Think of abundance. Idealize the methods and plans for putting the law of abundance into operation. Visualize the condition which the law of abundance creates. This will result in manifestation. This is a difficult problem for many. We are too anxious. We manifest anxiety, fear, distress. We want to do something. We want to help. We are like a child who just planted a seed and every 15 minutes goes and stirs up the earth to see if it is growing. Of course, under such circumstances, the seed will never germinate. And yet, this is exactly what many of us do in the mental world. We must plant the seed and leave it undisturbed. This does not mean that we are to sit and do nothing. By no means. We will do more and better work than we have ever done before. New channels will constantly be provided. The doors will open. All that is necessary is to have an open mind, be ready to act when the time comes.
Okay, so basically, do not be distracted. Don't allow the outside world to make you feel like you are incapable of achieving your desired goals. All right? Only focus on your ideas. Don't feed into any circumstances that may seem to be in your way, like money, transportation, health. If you feel like you're unhealthy or something, or you feel like you don't have enough money to get to your goals, or you don't have the right people in your life or the right environment, don't focus on those things. Those are distractions. And if you focus on the distractions will present themselves in your reality instead of your desired goals. You will be unhealthy, or you will be without money, or you will, don't focus on the things that you don't desire. Only focus on what you're desiring, and visualize only the things that you desire. Don't fall victim to fear, the things going on right now with the whole, and just all the other stuff happening. Don't allow these distractions to get in your way of manifesting your desired life. Don't allow it. And like it says, it can be difficult because in our everyday lives, they're full of distractions. Television, music, jobs, this whole thing going on. Our lives, people, the things we have to take care of, our priorities that we have. We have all these things that cause us anxiety and stress and worry, and don't really give us time to, we think, to manifest and live a life that we desire. But we have to ignore the distractions. Focus on your desires and trust the process. While trusting and waiting for your desires to manifest, continue to also take action and open yourself to new opportunities. The journey never ends. It's enjoyably continuous. While you have set these things in motion, these visualizations, these ideas, trust that it is working for you. Trust that it is growing. Just like it talks about the seed. You can't plant a seed and then tomorrow go dig it up to see if it's growing. You're going to disrupt the whole process, and you're no longer believing. You're no longer believing in yourself. You're doubting yourself, and you're doubting the omnipotent forces that be that are trying to help you out as well. All right. And don't just sit and do nothing. Continue to allow yourself to be brought new opportunities. And if somebody comes to you and gives you an opportunity, or there's a doorway that opens, don't turn a blind eye to it. That's probably the universe giving you a possibility that you have set in place. You have a certain desire, and now certain doors are opening for you. So go into those doors. You've manifested that. Okay, don't just sit and wait for things just to appear like magic. So that's basically what I get from that. That was 22 through 27. So now I'm gonna go over to 31.
For your exercise this week, visualize your friend. See him or her exactly as you last saw him or her. See the room, the furniture. Recall the conversation. Now see his or her face. See it distinctly. Now talk to him or her about some subject of mutual interest. See his or her expression change. Watch him or her smile. Can you do this? All right, you can. Then arouse his or her interest. Tell him or her a story of adventure. See his or her eyes light up with the spirit of fun or excitement. Can you do all of this? If so, your imagination is good, and you are making excellent progress.
Okay, so this is a very powerful technique. It's kind of like the application last week, but for this visualization technique, you're actually interacting with your imagination and your visualizations. Have a conversation with your friend or somebody that you know that you can detail, the things that they are wearing, or think about a time you were talking to somebody recently and visualize the place, visualize what they were wearing, visualize what they smelled like, visualize what you were feeling or what you had on, or how the conversation went about. Whenever you're talking to them in your imagination and your visualization, see the expression on their face, see their tone, their color, changing, and be very detailed with it. This is going to help you manifest your desires, because with this technique, this practice of you visualizing something that's familiar, you're going to be better off with visualizing things that you're unfamiliar with and things that you want to manifest. So this is just a practice, and if you can keep doing it have the same visualization, so you can really start to practice it all week. If you're really good at it, maybe switch it up after the second day or the third day, and try to visualize a new conversation with somebody or whatnot. Interact with your visualization. It's just a step forward, okay? And that is it for chapter 7 on the Master Key System. I thank you so much for being here, watching, and going along with me in this journey, reaching into the unknown, unlocking our possibilities, and manifesting our desires. I mean, who wouldn't want that, But I really appreciate you. Much love to you all. Don't forget to hit those timestamps down there. So when you come back, you can just go right to the application, or whatever section you want to go to, and subscribe. Okay, I think if I get to 1,000 subscribers, I'm able to post certain things, and I'm able to go live on stuff on YouTube. So that would be really, really cool if I can go live on here sometimes, maybe have little meditation sessions with you all, and it would be really cool. So I appreciate it. Share the videos. I also have other videos if you're interested in singing, me singing, and different acrobatic stuff, cheerleading stuff, and send me recommendations, things you might want to hear, or things you might want me to talk about, or things, routines and stunt sections you might want to see, or a cover you might want me to cover. Let's talk, let's chat, let's communicate. It's a family. We're a family here, and I really, really appreciate you all. Much love, peace, and blessings. Peace and blessings.